Good morning. My name is Brad Walsh, host of the Empowerography podcast, based here in Toronto, Canada. It's a pretty great day out there this morning. Today, my guest is Alex Klein, based out of Toronto, Canada. Alex, good morning. How are you today?
Good morning, Brad. I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing quite well. How's your morning going so far?
It's been good. It's a little dreary out, but it's good.
Excellent. Okay, well, let's jump right in here. So you have quite the story, Alex. You were a basketball professional. How old were you when you started playing ball, and how did the whole transition into pro ball come about? Would you mind sharing a bit about your story with us?
Of course. So I believe I was in the second grade when I was first introduced to basketball. My parents put me into a house league, and from there I started playing rep, as a lot of kids do, and I just grew a love for it. I think it was a lot more than the actual sport. It was all of the other skills and traits that I learned to love and to hate throughout growing up with the sport. And when I decided I wanted to play it in university, I started getting options to play in Canada, and then was also introduced to playing in the US. And I decided to play in the United States for the Division I in NCAA. And so I did that for a couple of reasons. I wanted to make sure I had a really good athletic opportunity, and I decided I wanted to go Division I. And there were also Division II and III options as well, but and then with the athletic opportunity to play D1, I wanted to make sure I went to a good academic school, and I wanted to study business. So I decided to go to Rhode Island and play at Bryant University. And then from there, it became real that I could play overseas as well. And so I decided to take that opportunity while I had it.
Wow.
And I went overseas, to Luxembourg.
Oh,
and
man.
I absolutely loved it. It was an amazing experience and a beautiful country, and I loved the team. And now I'm here.
What are the differences between Division I, and II, and III? For those that don't know.
Yeah, Division I is, I don't know how else to use, I don't know what the exact good word to use is. I want to say more intense, but that's not to keep away from Division II or III. It's just, I guess, more high level, more elite. Again, that's not to say there are very, very good Division II schools out there, for example, that I was recruited by as well. But I think Division I, the whole challenge, and not just saying I played D1, but I knew there were a lot of girls who would play where I played that were much better than me. And to become a better player, I knew that was absolutely necessary, that I play against players that are significantly better than me, because I didn't want to be stagnant. I didn't want to be average.
Right. Well, that's what they say, right? You should always surround yourself with people that are more advanced in the skills department. That way you're learning more all the time, right?
I agree, yeah.
So now you're a fitness and mindset trainer. How did you make the transition from pro ball into fitness and mindset trainer? Was it a fairly easy and natural transition?
I would say it was natural, but it wasn't exactly easy or very quick. And what I mean by that is getting into a little bit more of my story.
Sure.
The reason I stopped playing professionally was because I got sick at the time, and I had to come back to Canada and obviously see a doctor and see a health specialist to figure out what was going on. And obviously with that, that was my job. My job was, I was paid to play basketball, and that was my life. So just stopping it all of a sudden was a big culture shock. And then that's when all those humps started arising, and I had to figure out how to conquer those and get over those. So I knew I wanted to be a coach, and I've always felt that in my heart, but I didn't know whether that was specifically basketball, and whether it was court or not, or something else. And I didn't know what that something else was. So over 2 years later, the time was right, and I knew, just because of what I'd gone through, what kind of coach I wanted to be. And I was very passionate about fitness, not just basketball anymore, but also helping people have the right mindset to accomplish their fitness and nutrition goals, because that would help them maintain them long term and not just reach a short term goal. So I would say it was natural for me. It just took me a little bit of time to figure out how and what exactly I wanted to do.
Was there a defining moment where you, like this lightning bolt moment where you knew right then and there that you had to be a mindset and fitness coach?
I don't have a lightning bolt moment. I wish I could say I did. It was more of a snowball effect. That's what I want to call it. So the more things, the more people I lost in my life, the more hurdles I had to get over, the more levels of discomfort that I endured allowed me to more clearly see that was what I was meant to do. And I wanted to help other people get through their experiences and their adversities.
Excellent. I assume that your clientele is mostly women then, as a fitness and mindset coach. Is that right?
Yes. Most of mine are women, yes.
Okay, so was that a decision you made consciously to focus your energy and business on helping women specifically, or it just kind of happened that way?
That was something that I hired a business coach a few months back, and she's helped me with this whole launch of my program. And she and I spoke about this a few times. The reason I didn't totally cut off helping males, that's not the case at all, actually. But majority of the people that reached out to me prior to my launch about supplements, about mindset, about fitness, nutrition, they were all women. So I think that I naturally attract women, and I'm not sure why, but I think, and then I'm also more attracted to helping women as well. At this point, I don't even know why. I'm just so passionate about strong, independent women, and how there's, we can have other people in our life who add to our life, and there's no doubt about that. But to be able to sustain yourself and be happy and healthy totally on your own is such a great quality and attractive thing that I think I'm a firm believer every woman should have for themselves. 100%.
Awesome. Yeah. Can you explain a bit about your program to us? Since you're speaking, you've mentioned it. Can you tell us a bit about it?
Of course. So I just launched, I think a week and a day ago, my Winning Edge program.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's based on mindset and fitness and nutrition. So a lot of people had a lot of questions at the beginning of what I meant by that. And how I explain it is essentially, anybody could write a fitness program. That guy across the street could write you a nutrition program. Literally anybody can write you something and give it to you and say, here, do this.
Yeah.
The whole problem with this that I've seen with people, male or female, is that doesn't last long term. So for example, even the keto diet, or getting into a little bit more specific here, that's something that, yes, you can get a lot of weight loss and you can reach a new milestone with that goal if that's your goal, but that may not be sustainable forever. And the whole point of my program is to have the right mindset and see things from a different angle that will help you reach those goals and keep those goals reached, not just get there and then sit back and have those old habits set in place again.
Right.
So it's building up that mental strength so that you can then maintain those goals that you have and keep them.
Sounds very interesting. Awesome. What got you excited about starting your own business, becoming an entrepreneur?
I'd say a few factors got me excited. Like I said, it's something I knew I wanted to do, but I didn't know how or what. Obviously, the flexibility with time, location. I am doing a couple of other things as well with my time. So this currently is not my full time.
Okay.
But with that said, I think it's really attractive that I wouldn't have to drive to an office every day. Not have the flexibility and the freedom to do my passions and kind of keep them in a box until later. I think it's hard to grow that way.
Yeah.
And I've learned that and I've accepted that. So the time and the location and just the ability to be able to help people out at any point of the day is attractive to me as a brand.
Is the plan or the goal to go full time with this then, and that will be your whole focus?
That would be a dream. Yes. Yeah.
All right.
And I plan on that eventually happening.
Excellent. That's good. Don't give up on that goal. You got to keep focused and keep working towards it, right?
Exactly.
So what have you found then is one of the most frustrating things, if any, so far being an entrepreneur?
One of the most frustrating things. I would say I'm a very impatient person, which sometimes is not good. So one of the most frustrating things for me would be when I grew up, I was one of those kids that was for the most part naturally good at a lot of things.
Uh-huh.
And let's take sports, for example.
Yeah.
I was fourth sport athlete in high school, and I was just super active and engaged in a lot of different activities. And so now when I'm trying to launch my brand and I'm doing a lot of different things and I'm dipping my toe in things I haven't experienced or dealt with before,
Uh-huh.
it's uncomfortable, and that makes me frustrated. But at the same time, I know, like we've spoken about, that discomfort is absolutely necessary. And
Yes.
now I actually I want people to push me out of my comfort zone. I want to get uncomfortable. And that's one of the reasons I also work with Tim Grover, who is Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan's trainer. He was their trainer. And he trains me on mental toughness. And
that's
because
awesome.
Thank you. I value, no, I don't want to be, uncomfortable my whole life, but at the same time, I do, because that will make me a better coach, a better mom eventually, and a better person.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But it's funny because so many people are scared of stepping outside of and being pushed outside of their comfort zone. If only everybody realized that that's where the most growth happens, it would be so different. I mean, it's funny when you hear people, no, I can't do that, or no, I don't want to try that, or just step outside. It'll do you a world of good.
Exactly. And don't get me wrong. There are times when I don't want to do things. There are times when, I catch myself being negative and I sit back for a second. I'm like, whoa, stay open-minded, push through this. It's good you're uncomfortable. It's always a good thing. There's always a silver lining at the end of the day. And whether it shows up in a week or it shows up in a year, there's always a reason as to why everything happens and why you had to be uncomfortable.
Couldn't agree more. You had mentioned you were athletic ability came natural to you. I'm just curious. I've always wondered, this with artists as well in terms of ability, but speaking to you as an athlete, do you think that athletic ability comes natural to most people? Is it something you're born with, or is it something that can be nurtured and built and grown?
I think that it can be built and grown. I think, yes, people can be born with athletic ability. Both of my parents were high-level athletes, I'd say. So my dad was a football player. My mom was a volleyball player in university.
Oh, wow. Okay.
My family was very active, and my parents are both very in shape and all of that. But even if my parents weren't, I absolutely think that anyone, if they have the drive and the work ethic and, again, mindset to work their asses off and push those limits for themselves, quote unquote limits, anybody can become athletic or become, that athlete that they vision, they dream of being 100%. I think it's way more valuable I would rather coach somebody that would be 100% dedicated to me and give me everything that they had than talent. Right. Because that kid will go further than anyone who just has raw talent, but they don't want to use it or do anything with it.
Yeah, I guess you could say, I mean, I don't want to say use the word lazy, but I think that some people that just have that natural talent would tend to be a little more lazy and not put in as much effort or determination to get where they want to go, right?
Exactly right. I see so many, even kids. I see kids sometimes, and they're let's say 14, 15 years old, and they are talented. I can see it at a young age, whether it's basketball, whatever, football, soccer, or in art or some other kind of talent, but they are so lazy and they have no desire and work ethic to I guess, take that talent and elevate it to even something greater.
Mm-hmm.
But they just don't want it. And you
That's
can't
kind of
make
sad.
somebody want it. Exactly. You can't, I can only do so much as a coach.
Yes.
They have to want it too.
Yeah, very true. Could you share a situation that has occurred in your life that you feel would provide insight as to your character?
Yes. One situation, it has a couple of different factors incorporated into it, but when I mentioned that I came back from Europe and I had to see a health specialist, that was a big
Mm-hmm.
culture shock, like I mentioned. And so I had to wait about 8 months to figure out what was going on with my health. And when I finally got a conclusion, the first doctor had no conclusion. I was referred to somebody else. You know how it all goes.
Yeah.
Then I had to figure out what I was going to do for work, because
Mm-hmm.
I could have gone back and played ball. And
Yeah.
for some reason, people ask me all the time why I didn't. I was thinking about going to Australia before I got sick. And then when this all happened, I was like, you know what? I want to start my business career. And
Mm-hmm.
I just felt in my heart that that's what I wanted to do at the time. I didn't want to grow a resentment for basketball. And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people don't know what I mean by that, but I didn't want to play more than my heart allowed
Right.
and then start resenting the game.
Okay.
I would never want that to happen. So when I had to figure out, what I was going to do for work, and then my long-term relationship ended, and those three, my health, my work, and my relationship all kind of went in the trash within 2 weeks.
Wow, that's horrible.
So, it was at a very young age.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people go through these things, but it was because I was young and because it was in such a short amount of time that I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? Everything is gone.
Your whole world is crumbling.
Exactly. And luckily I had my parents and I had my best friends, and I had a good support system. So that was very important. My environment was a positive, uplifting thing for me. And that, I think, accomplishment of figuring it out and keep pushing through it and getting over that stuff is something that really shows my character. And I think I've grown a hell of a lot since that happened.
That's awesome. It's I think a lot of people don't realize how important a support system is to have in place in so many different aspects of your life, starting a business, going through tough times. I mean, what you went through, everything crashing down at once, and that's what gets you through, having the friends and family and a very strong support system in place to help you get through. It's key.
Yeah, it's so important. And that's actually one of my principles that I teach in my Winning Edge coaching program. And EDGE is an acronym. So E stands for environment, which is what we're talking about. D is don't think, just do, which is key for me. And I can elaborate on that too. And then G is a glimpse of. So I'll show, a glimpse of my fitness, nutrition, and how I stay active and healthy. And then the last E is excuses. So going back to that first E, that's one of the main things, the first things that I teach my clients is your environment is everything. Right. It's everything, because even if you don't realize how contagious something is and you're not taking it in, it is impacting your health and your happiness. And that goes for negativity and positivity.
Right.
Your podcast you're listening to, if you're listening to the news 24/7 and all that's on the news is negativity about this virus and about the government and all these people are dying and all this stuff, you don't realize how much that actually impacts your health and happiness, but it does. That's something that I teach.
Excellent. That's very cool. What do you think is your unique skill set or superpower that has helped you become successful, become who you are, become Alex?
My unique skill set or superpower? I want to say my mind. Excellent. And I know that's it sounds like, it's right into what I'm teaching people, but I'd say I've had to really work on my mind because, with what I was sick with coming back from Europe, it's chronic, but it's something that I flare up when I stress out and when I totally let other factors influence my mind. So if I'm really stressed and I'm really worried and I'm anxious and all these things, my body, my immune system will literally break down in response to that. So I've had to, and I'm still learning on how to be strong-minded and, don't think about the negatives, don't let certain things impact me and all that stuff, so that my body doesn't break down in response to it.
Well, I would think that that's an ongoing thing because, I mean,
100%.
we're only human. It's going to happen time here and there, right? So it's just a constant training, I guess, and mental game. That's good.
100%.
It's tough. It's very tough to stay positive all the time with, as you said, all this negativity, especially now, the current climate that we're in the world. Everybody's dealing with the same thing. It's very hard to stay positive when you keep getting negative thrown at you all the time. So,
and that's why I say to my clients, I'm not a robot.
Mm-hmm.
There are still times, like every day, negativity crosses my mind. I feel crappy. Sometimes I wake up, I'm like, why do I don't really feel like myself. What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
But then I revamp. I get myself together, and if it is the virus and all the stress going around in the world, I try to bring as much positivity and light to as many people as I can, because why bring more negativity when there's so much around us anyway?
Exactly. That's awesome. Are there any specific tools or books that you can share with us that have really helped you on your journey?
Yes. I actually have a bonus in my program.
I love it.
Yeah. So there are a few books that I would recommend.
Uh-huh.
There's so many, but I'm also a big podcast listener. So
okay.
I'll start with the books. So
sure.
The first couple of books that I'd mention, the first one is because Tim Grover is my mindset mentor.
Uh-huh.
His book, Relentless, it's basketball oriented. So if you don't think in basketball ways, it might be a little bit off for you, but he is so blunt and direct and tells you what you need to hear. And it's uncomfortable as hell,
uh-huh.
but you need to hear it. And it's one of those things where, at first I'm like, oh my God, it makes me want to cry. So then I'm like, no, I needed to hear that. I needed that kick in the ass, right? Sometimes
uh-huh.
I'm like, I'm coaching all these people and getting uncomfortable, but when am I going to get uncomfortable again? So that's where he comes in to coach me. So his book, Relentless, is amazing. The next one I'd say is The Compound Effect.
Uh-huh.
And that's by Darren Hardy.
Oh, Darren. I love Darren Hardy.
Yeah, so it's a really good book. And then the other two I'd say, one is called Choose Wonder Over Worried by Amber Ray.
Uh-huh.
And the last one I'd say, there's so many, but The Universe Has Your Back by Gabby Bernstein. Like I mentioned before, I'm a big believer that even if you don't realize why things are happening at one point in time, there's always a reason. And people meet who they're supposed to meet, and circumstances occur when they're supposed to occur. So that's kind of, it's a comforting book almost on how the universe is looking out for you if you do your part and you stay positive and you work your hardest and all that. So moving on to podcasts, I really like, there's the Happiness Lab. I recommend that one for sure. It's you can tell by the title. It's really good.
Yeah.
It has a lot of psychology incorporated into it.
Uh-huh.
So I think that's really interesting, figuring out why people do the things they do.
Yes,
I think
absolutely.
that's really neat, to learn about. And then a bunch of just mindset podcasts. If you don't, because I'm a coach and I'm coaching mindset, if I ever had a coach who's not constantly learning and trying to better themselves, that's a warning sign to me.
Uh-huh.
So that's something that I'm always trying to research and look up and stay in tune with, is various mindset podcasts and books for myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. What would you say is your biggest high or your biggest win so far up to this point in your life?
So my instinct is to say playing pro ball, but it's actually, again, I think it's overcoming all the things afterwards that are my greatest wins. I think, saying I played at a professional level, it sounds great on paper, and it was a great experience. But I think figuring out your crap after all that's over, and kind of having the confidence and the bravery to turn that next page and start that new chapter when you don't know what that chapter is going to be. I think that's the greatest win.
I would imagine that a lot of pro athletes after their career is over struggle with that. It's got to be a very difficult thing when you've been doing something at that level for so long, and then all of a sudden it's over. It's like, oh man, what am I going to do with myself now? This is all I've known. Basketball has been my life, my love, everything.
It definitely is. And when you're being paid for it, it's just an even different world too. I had a lot of previous athletes, even if it's in high school, they played sports, or a lot of university athletes. When I played in the States, a lot of previous athletes reached out to me, and they get very comfortable, and they get comfortable quick. And then they sit back and they're like, oh my God, I've gained 30 pounds. Or, oh my gosh, I haven't gone to the gym in this long, or I haven't done this, haven't done that, because they got comfortable. And it's never a good thing to be comfortable. So that's actually a big chunk of my clientele.
Okay.
Is people who were working out 3 times a day. They were on a team. They were doing this. They were doing that. And now they do nothing. So it's just getting them back in the game. And that's the whole point, is giving people my edge, getting their own edge developed. Again, because they are capable of doing it if they set their mind right.
I love that acronym. I think that's awesome.
Oh, good. Thank you.
How long did you play pro ball for in total?
I played for 1 season because I had to come back.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I planned to go more at the time. I had bought new shoes, new basketball shoes, everything. And things changed. And that's just what life throws at you.
Yeah, exactly. You just got to deal with it on the fly, right? And make decisions and be comfortable with the decisions you make. So, what profession other than what you're doing now would you like to attempt in life, or that you have done? What other professions would you like to try?
So I failed to mention, I'm also a kickboxing trainer.
Oh, wow. Very cool.
So that's actually at a women's only studio as well.
Awesome.
So I really enjoyed that. If I had to do something else, different profession, I would love to get incorporated with graphic design or Photoshop, photography, something like that. I think that's really interesting. I've always said I don't want to say I have an eye for it, but I enjoy learning about that kind of thing, all those visuals, and then just becoming more of a trainer in different ways. Like I would love to be a spin instructor at an intense spin studio or something like that. Again, maybe it's just because I yearn for that challenge for myself, because I've never done that before, and just training to become that when I've never done that before. It's another attractive thing for me. So that could be the underlying reason, but maybe just spreading out, getting more certifications, getting more qualified in different areas of athletics and fitness.
Well, I'll give you one thing. You were definitely goal-oriented and determined, that's for sure.
I know. I'm getting ahead of myself.
No, I think that's a good thing. There's a lot of people that aren't driven at all. So to talk to someone that's so driven and wants to try something, I think that's very, very inspiring.
Thank you.
Amazing. So let's take things a little less serious. What's your favorite word?
My favorite word would have to be, I think I've said it in the podcast, grit.
Okay.
I love that word because some people have it or they don't. And when you have that grit, it goes in line with what you just said, with people who are driven and people who are ambitious beyond belief and all that. They have that grit to them, that fire almost, you know, and that is so something that you can't teach. And I think it's I don't know what I love about it so much, but it's special when people have grit. Excellent.
What's your favorite curse word? You can say it. It's okay. It's not censored.
I think I may have sworn already on the podcast. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
I would say probably, I don't know why, motherfucker. I don't know why.
I love it.
I'm going to listen to this later and be like, what the heck was I thinking?
I thought you were going to say fuck, because I've watched a couple of your videos on Instagram and you use that word quite frequently.
I do, don't I? You know what? I'm blunt. That's okay.
Hey, being blunt is good. At least it lets people know where they stand.
Yes, that's true.
What sound or noise do you love?
A sound I love is actually, I've probably only experienced this once or twice in my life, but when there's total absolute silence, except for birds chirping and leaves and wind blowing, and you're just at peace. That's what I would say I love.
Nice, relaxing, calming.
Yeah. And there's no noises. There's no cars. There's no cell phones. You know, it's just you and the world.
Again, going back to the mindset thing and calming mind, and that's okay. If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Teleportation.
Why teleportation?
Oh, that would be so convenient.
Yes, it would save a lot of time, wouldn't it?
Exactly. And sometimes, one of the things Tim Grover teaches me is if you always have enough time. He said, you always have enough time. And I've caught myself so many times saying, oh, I don't have time for that. I'm going from job to job to job. I have this client, this and this. But if you focus in and you use your time effectively and efficiently, you actually focus in every part of your soul on that task, you have enough time. It's just...
I think it's about prioritization, right?
Yeah.
You got to manage your time well. Yes. Yeah, I've said that many times. Oh, I don't have time for that. Or I'm so busy, I don't have time. And no, it's just a bullshit excuse.
Oh yeah, see, excuses. There's a lot of excuses.
Yes, there's an E in your acronym.
Yep. And it's just not good. They're never good. So no, teleportation.
All right then. What was a turning point in your life, and how did it affect you?
So the first turning point, I would say, a big pivot would be leaving Canada and taking that risk. And I'm an only child too, so it's leaving my parents and just going to a different country. And I obviously did that again when I went from the U.S. to Europe. Right. And I loved just that whole different experience that I know would never probably come to me again if I didn't do that. So
did you find one transition was more difficult than the other? You leaving Canada to go to the States, and then leaving the States to go to Europe. Was either one of those more difficult than the other?
Yes.
Which one?
The one from the U.S. to Europe. I was in one of the hardest things, and some people don't think it would be that difficult, but it's extremely difficult when you are in a relationship, a long-term relationship, and you decide to go to a different country, and you're the one that's like, sorry, I'm going to leave you. I'm going to go chase after my dream, and you're going to have to wait back there. And that's, as direct as that is, and blunt as that sounds, that's really what happened, right? So, yes, I have no regrets, but that was a big impact on our relationship and both of us as individuals.
Absolutely, I can see that for sure. I mean, you're moving how many thousand miles away, and like you said,
time difference too, right?
Yeah, exactly, which would put a strain on things as well, right?
Yeah.
What's a passion of yours that you rarely share with people, and why don't you share it?
I would say, although it's good to be strong physically and mentally, and I promote that, and I pride myself on being that, I do have a passion and a tendency for having a soft heart. And I'm trying not to show as many people that at the beginning, or a lot of people don't get to see that at the beginning because they need to prove to me that they deserve to. I'm a very, those who I love and who I surround myself with, my friends and family, they tend to tell me that I'm almost naive in a way because I see so positively and optimistically, and I often see the best in people. But sometimes that person doesn't deserve it yet, or doesn't deserve it. Right. And so I'll get burned for my soft heart. And
well, sure, because you're showing your vulnerable side, right?
100%. I tend to do that, and I know that about myself. But at the end of the day, on the other hand, I'm like, if I get burned, I get burned. But I want to think the best of people if I can.
Yeah, I think that's the best attitude to take. I mean,
some people agree, some don't.
I would agree with you. There are shitty people out there who are out for themselves and whatnot, but I like to believe, and I tell myself that the majority of people in the world, I think, are good. Now, again, I've been called naive for that way of thinking as well, but that's how I like to think and believe, because If you believe and go the other route, it's just all negative, and that's not a good thing to have.
Right.
As we've discussed. So
Yep.
I'm with you on that one, 100%.
Thank you. I have somebody on my side.
Yes. What does the word empowerment mean to you?
Empowerment. Strength. Strength would be the big one that stands out to me. And empowerment, it's not to impress anyone else. It's having the strength within yourself,
right,
and having it within you.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would you say is the best advice you've ever received?
The best advice I'd ever received? Probably something from Tim Grover.
We keep going back to Tim.
It all goes back to what he coached me. I mean, there's so many different things that I could just totally list off.
Oh, you can give us a couple.
I'm trying to think of the biggest ones, but there's so many. So,
do you want to come back to that
honestly, one? I would say with the advice, it would be, you got to stop thinking about what others want and what others think of you. And I was and I find this even a lot in university, I was very, not fixated, but I really, really cared about what everybody thought.
Right.
And I don't know why. And maybe it stemmed from an insecurity back then. Probably something of the case in that regard, because it doesn't matter. If you would have told me 5 years ago that I would be super active on my social media like this, and I would be running this program, and I'd be sharing all my thoughts, and I'd be doing all of this stuff that other people aren't comfortable doing, I would say, no way. Like that sounds a little, I would believe this, oh my gosh, I would fixate on like, oh my gosh, is this Instagram post good enough? I would let it pen. I swear to God. And I know so many girls that do this, and they would let it pen, and they would look at it, and they'd edit the caption 100 times. And yes, I'm very picky and particular with my captions and my pictures and things, but that's only for myself. I don't even care about what other people, I hope people will like them, but I'm not going to do something because I'm super worried and paranoid other people won't approve or won't support it. I'm going to do it for myself.
I mean, for you too, that's your brand you're putting out there. So you have to be choosy, and you have to be selective with what you say and what you write. And because that's, at the end of it all, it's your brand. It's you. So
exactly.
That's a good thing to be that way, I think. But I mean, just as long as it's not getting to the point where it's, oh, will this person like this? And what will this person think? And,
Yeah.
So, how would you define success? What does success mean to you?
Success, the definition is, and this goes for everybody, I would say true, in-depth, genuine happiness. And
awesome.
Whatever gives you that and fulfills you in your heart, that is success. And, my definition of success will be very different from yours, will be very different from that person at the grocery store.
Right.
Whoever, I can't say it's the same thing for everyone out there, because I don't believe that's the case. Success is accepting what was and moving on, moving forward, and just feeling genuine happiness in your heart.
Excellent. I like that meaning. That's good.
Thank you.
What's your favorite quote, if you have one, or two, or three you can share with us?
Well, mine is kind of long.
That's
my favorite one. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So my one favorite quote would be, "This is the beginning of a new day. You have been given this day to use as you will. You can waste it or use it for good. What you do today is important because you are exchanging a day of your life for it. When tomorrow comes, this day will be gone forever, and in its place is something that you have left behind. Let it be something good."
I love that. I've never heard that quote before. I think that's amazing.
Thank you very much.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Very inspiring, for sure.
Thank
and
you.
It's it leaves you thinking. It gives you thoughts, and wow, that's awesome. I love it.
Oh, yay. Good. Thank you.
Okay, if you could go back and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that piece of advice be? Now, this one we're limiting to one. You can only give your younger self one piece.
There's so many that rush through my head.
Okay, well, let's pick the most important one.
I would say you can't have self-discipline until you've mastered self-control.
Wow, you've got tons of insights here today. I love it.
That's something I've learned from another coach.
It's not Tim's.
It is actually. There are so many things that rush through my head, but that is something, that he coached me on. Is you can't have self-discipline until you've mastered self-control. And if I would go back, there's literally this laundry list of things that I wish I could have taught myself back then. And that's one of them. Self-control is a talent, and you have the ability to develop it. You have to think about what is controlling your actions, what is controlling your thoughts. And that's something I would have taught myself back then.
Excellent. One more thing. Do you have any projects, any big projects you're currently working on that you can share with us that aren't released to the public yet that you would like to share? Anything going on, or you want to keep it under wraps?
So because I just newly launched my Winning Edge program, which is a monthly coaching program, a week ago, I'm currently working on some future modules that will be in the program, but I know I actually was just speaking with my coach about this, and we know that there will be a lot more things down the line that will be released. A lot of it is depending on, what are people looking for? What are people wanting to see from me? A lot of it is fitness oriented. So I want to, I want to make sure I'm not just like putting out programs for people and just writing programs and that's it. It's a lot more in depth than that. So I want to stay true to whatever I end up releasing in the future, which there are some things brewing.
Excellent.
It's going to be around mindset and not just strictly releasing a program, that type of thing.
Excellent. Well, Alex, I think that about does it for us today. Thank you so much for being a guest on my show. Your insights and your advice and your opinions and your thoughts. Thank you so much for sharing them. It was great chatting with you. It was wonderful having you on as a guest.
Thank you so much, Brad. Appreciate it.
Once again, my name is Brad Walsh, host of the Empowerography podcast. My guest today was Alex Klein, professional basketball player and mindset and fitness coach extraordinaire, all around amazing woman. Thank you so much again for being a guest today. It was great having you.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.